Have you ever been using an AI and just felt like you're stuck in a loop, getting the same answer over and over again? Trust me, you are not alone. It's probably one of the most common frustrations out there. But the good news is there's a really simple way to break out of that loop and, unlock a whole new level of creativity. So let's dive right in. Does this whole scenario just feel a little too familiar? You ask the AI to summarize one report, then another, and then another. And suddenly, every single summary starts to sound exactly the same. It really feels like the AI is just hitting a replay button, right? Well, you're not imagining it, but the reason why this happens might actually surprise you.
So here's the thing. This isn't some kind of error or a glitch in the system. And this is the key part, it's a completely natural outcome of how these powerful models are designed to work. And really, understanding this is the first step to getting way, way better results.
To really get a handle on this, we're going to have to pop open the hood and see what's actually going on inside the AI's brain. Why does this repetition happen in the first place? Well, it really just boils down to four key factors.
Okay, so here are the four big reasons. First, just plain monotony from the tasks themselves. Second is something called context compression. Third, we have the AI's own internal prioritization logic. And finally, some pretty straightforward technical limitations. Let's break them down one by one.
So, first up, monotony. Think about it like a human doing any routine task. If your job is to file the same kind of report every single day, you're going to develop a standard way of doing it. Well, the AI does the exact same thing. Give it the same type of task over and over, and it's going to fall into a pattern and lose that creative spark. Next, we have what's called context compression. See, the AI remembers your previous conversations to help it figure out what to say next. But if all of your requests are pretty much identical, it gets trapped in this echo chamber. It literally starts referencing its own repetitive answers, which makes it almost impossible for it to come up with a genuinely new idea.
And then there's its prioritization logic. These AI models are built for one thing above all else: efficiency. So to work quickly, they often fall back on learned templates or patterns that they know have worked before. The downside? Well, this constant drive for speed can cause the AI to completely gloss over the small, subtle differences in your prompt that actually require a unique answer.
And last but not least, we've got good old-fashioned technical limitations. An AI model isn't infinite, right? It has a finite amount of memory and processing power. So if you just flood it with a ton of similar tasks, you're basically overloading its resources in one specific direction, which can make it seem like it's gotten completely stuck. So we've got monotony, echo chambers, templates, and technical limits. Now, that might sound complicated, but the solution? Oh, the solution is beautifully simple. It all comes down to one incredibly powerful concept: adding diversity to your requests. And this slide right here shows the solution in action. I mean, just look at the difference. The basic prompt, summarize this report, is so simple it's probably going to get a generic templated answer. But look at the upgraded prompt. It adds just two tiny, diverse instructions: list in a table and for an executive. That simple change is enough to force the AI completely out of its loop. So, the most important thing to remember here is that you have the power to break the cycle. To help you do that, let's build out a practical toolkit with a few simple but really powerful techniques you can start using right away to get more varied and creative results. First tool in the kit: change the format. This is probably one of the easiest ways to shake things up. So instead of just asking for a block of text, ask the AI to present that same information in a bunch of different ways. Ask for a blog post, then a table, then maybe bullet points. See, each format requires a totally different structure, and that forces the AI to rethink the content from a brand new angle. All right, let's build on that with our next tool: shifting the audience. An explanation you'd give a student is completely different from one you'd give a technical expert, right? So by asking the AI to write for different audiences or different expertise levels, you're basically commanding it to change its tone, its vocabulary, and its level of complexity. It's a game changer. And our final tool: try switching the perspective. This one is fantastic for getting deeper analysis. You can ask the AI to argue for one side of an issue and then immediately argue for the other. Or ask it to switch from, say, a formal academic tone to a friendly conversational one. This forces it to move beyond just spitting out facts and into the world of nuance and style. When you start using these techniques, something pretty amazing starts to happen. You stop seeing the AI as just a tool for automating boring, repetitive tasks, and you start seeing it as a creative partner. You're not just fixing a problem anymore, you are fundamentally changing the way you collaborate with it.
And this quote, right here, it just perfectly captures the ultimate benefit. By deliberately injecting diversity into your prompts, you're not just getting a less boring answer. No, you're using the AI to explore a single topic from multiple viewpoints at once, helping you gain a much richer, much broader understanding.
So the next time you sit down with an AI, don't just ask it for an answer. Ask it for a blog post, a table, and a summary for a fifth grader. Challenge it, push it out of its comfort zone, because the real question isn't just about getting a better answer. It's about what new perspectives you are going to unlock.